be agreed to, and I call the member for Hasluck.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. I want to begin by just, celebrating the fact that, contrary to the member for Indi's disparaging comments about the regional first home buyer guarantee, we have just secured 2,700 homes in 6 months. Absolutely fantastic outcome, and demonstrates the power of federal government investment in affordable homes and being able to provide an access and guarantee to young people looking to either continue living in the regions or moving to those regions itself. And while my electorate is not quite as regional as the member for Gilmore's, the outer reaches of Hasluck are some 55 to 60 kilometres from the Perth CBD in what can only be described as farming country. And having grown up in regional towns, predominantly York, which is only a 20-so-minute drive from the border of my electorate, I can completely appreciate the need to support younger people and young families, first home buyers who have a desire to stay in their own hometown and raise their family, or perhaps to stay at a job that they love, but still have the capacity to buy their own first home. And we see this also with the growth in opportunities for renewable energies, which will predominantly be benefiting those in the regions. We have a lovely town called Collie, which has been the home of coal mining for some decades, and now the Western Australian government under the McGowan leadership is transitioning Western Australia away from coal. But that's not the end of the town, it's the beginning of an entirely new future. And the amount of jobs that come now from the renewable energies, from green hydrogen, from developing tourism, that are completely underappreciated because of the coal mining that has been there for so long. We now have an opportunity for a lot more people to move to that region, but the capacity to be able to access affordable homes is limited, and it's through programs like the Regional First Home Buyer Guarantee that make it accessible to all. And back in the metropolitan Hasluck, there are a great many people deciding to also make my electorate home. Around 55% of the people within Hasluck have a mortgage, which is over 20% higher than the national average. These are younger people, first-generation migrants to Australia, people chasing the Australian dream, and simply because it's a beautiful place in which to live. And the Albanese Labor government has been active in this space, as we heard already with the Regional First Home Buyer Guarantee, the Help to Buy scheme, the National Housing Accord, and soon, with the support, hopefully, of all those opposite, the Housing Future Fund. In a complex society, we all bear the shared responsibility for ensuring that everyone lives with dignity and security. And with the leadership of the federal government and an agreement with the states, we can indeed meet this challenge, because no one needs a mansion on the riverfront, but everyone needs sufficient shelter. For everyone to have sufficient shelter in the shadow of an often unaffordable housing market, there needs to be sufficient funding. And the government's current policies need to be seen as the great beginning, and they need to be supported by the parliament. And of course, sufficient shelter means different things at different times of life. It will have a different meaning depending on the circumstances. I met families when, during the campaign, who were in a difficult situation because the number of rooms within their home didn't reflect the size of their family. And it went both ways. I had some people who were terrified about trying to find a smaller home because the lack of available small homes, 1 or 2 bedroom, and equally those with a growing family desperately concerned that to move out of their 1 or 2 bedroom flat would be difficult, if not impossible, because of the increase in rising rents, let alone being able to actually purchase a home that fit the size of their family. So this government's now making it easier for people to downsize, and we're making it easier for people to remove themselves from circumstances such as domestic violence. We're beginning to actually address the systemic needs, which means investing in homelessness services and housing supply. The Housing Australia Future Fund Bill enables the grants and loans in relation to acute housing needs, social housing or affordable housing, and we look forward to that bill being passed, because the future benefits of establishing this is unlimited in scope. It is a legacy program, not unlike Medicare, not unlike superannuation, which could, over time, become an integral and supportive part of Australia's housing landscape. We have a major ambitious program ahead of us, but we absolutely need the Parliament to act in this area, because any delay is an absolute injustice on all those who deserve absolutely require the basics of shelter and affordable housing.
The question